My girlfriend texted, "I befriended your therapist on Facebook, and she told me everything about your sessions. You're more messed up than I thought, LOL." I replied, "Thanks for letting me know." Then I contacted the licensing board with screenshots and filed an ethics complaint. When my ex-therapist's career started crumbling and she revealed who manipulated her. I, 29 male, am sitting here staring at the most insane text I've ever received. Need to document this while it's fresh because I have a feeling this is about to get messy. Been with Natalie, 27, for about 18 months. Living together for 6. Started therapy 8 months ago to deal with some childhood stuff. Divorced parents, narcissistic mother, the usual trauma package. My therapist, Dr. Heather Brennan, seemed solid. Mid-40s, good reviews, specialized in family trauma. Sessions were helping. I was making progress. Yesterday at 3:17 p.m., while I'm at work, Natalie sends this. LMAO, so I befriended your therapist on Facebook. Wasn't hard, she accepts everyone apparently. And we've been chatting. She told me everything about your sessions. You're way more messed up than I thought. Your mom issues, your trust problems, that thing with your dad. No wonder you're so clingy and paranoid. BW, she agrees you're probably bipolar or something. Maybe get real help? I read it 3 times. My hands were shaking, not from anger, from the violation. Called my office phone to test if I was dreaming. Nope. Real. Texted back. Thanks for letting me know. Natalie, that's it? You're not mad? Me. Why would I be mad? You just gave me evidence. Evidence of what? I didn't respond. Instead, I took screenshots. Of everything. The text, the timestamp, her basically admitting to manipulating my therapist into violating HIPAA and every ethical boundary that exists. Then I started my research. Dr. Brennan is licensed through our state's Board of Behavioral Sciences. Their website has a whole section on filing complaints. Violations of patient confidentiality, especially through social media, are taken very seriously. Like lose your license seriously. Spent my lunch break documenting everything. Downloaded my invoice history showing I was Dr. Brennan's patient. Grabbed screenshots of her Facebook, public profile, tons of inspirational quotes about trust and safe spaces. Ironic. Found Natalie on her friends list, added just 2 weeks ago. But here's the thing that made my blood boil. I scrolled through their public interactions. Dr. Brennan had been liking Natalie's posts, commenting with hearts on her selfies. There was one exchange. Natalie, so grateful for new friendships with wise women. Likewise, dear. Coffee soon? Would love to chat more about what we discussed. They were meeting in person to discuss my private therapy sessions. Saved everything. Created a folder. Ethical violation evidence. Went back to work like normal. Natalie texted a few more times. Hello? Why are you being weird? It's not a big deal, I was just curious. You're overreacting as usual. Didn't respond to any of it. Let her spiral. Got home around 6. Natalie was on the couch, wine glass in hand, trying to look casual. So we're not going to talk about this? She said. Talk about what? You violating my privacy? My therapist breaking federal law? Which part would you like to discuss? She rolled her eyes. Don't be so dramatic. I was just looking out for you. I wanted to understand what's wrong with you. What's wrong with me? You know, your issues. Why you're so difficult sometimes. I sat down across from her, calm as possible. Natalie, what exactly did Dr. Brennan tell you? She got this smug look. Everything. Your daddy issues, how you can't trust women because of your mom, that weird thing about feeling responsible for your parents' divorce, the crying sessions, all of it. Each word was another nail in Dr. Brennan's professional coffin. Did she share this over Facebook Messenger or in person? Both. Why? Just curious. Did you happen to save any of those messages? Maybe. Why do you care? I don't. Just wondering. She was getting suspicious now, but also drunk. You're being weird, Daniel. This is exactly what she said. You get all cold and calculated when you're upset instead of just expressing emotions like a normal person. That's when it hit me. They hadn't just discussed my past. They'd been analyzing my behavior, diagnosing me, planning how to handle me. How long have you two been talking? Like 2 weeks. Since that big fight we had about my ex, I needed perspective. The fight about her ex. When I'd asked her to stop talking to him daily, and she'd called me controlling. When I'd brought it up in therapy. When Dr. Brennan had helped me work through my boundaries. So you befriended my therapist to get ammunition for our relationship arguments? I befriended her to understand you better. But honestly, Daniel, after hearing everything, I don't think this is working. You need serious help, like medication-level help. There it was. Are you breaking up with me? I think I need space to process all this. Dr. Brennan thinks you might have attachment disorders, and honestly, I can't deal with that right now. My therapist was giving my girlfriend relationship advice about me. Me? Okay, when do you want to move out? She looked shocked. Move out? This is my apartment too. Actually, it's not. Lease is in my name, you're month to month. You can't just kick me out. I'm not. I'm asking when you'd like to leave, since you need space. This is exactly what she warned me about. You're being manipulative. I stood up. Natalie, I'm going to stay at a hotel tonight. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Please have your decision made by then. Grabbed an overnight bag and left. She was yelling something about emotional manipulation, but I didn't care. From the hotel, I started drafting my complaint to the licensing board. Update 1. 2 weeks later. Holy hell, this exploded in ways I didn't expect. First, the Natalie situation. I came back the next day and she was gone. Cleared out her stuff, left her key, and a note that said, "You need help." Perfect. Made the eviction I was planning unnecessary. She blocked me on everything except Venmo. Guess she was hoping for a security deposit she never paid. I blocked her there too. Now the Dr. Brennan situation. I filed the complaint with the Board of Behavioral Sciences that Monday, 12 pages. Screenshots, dates, timeline, everything. Included. The original text from Natalie admitting everything, Facebook screenshots showing their friendship and public interactions, my treatment records showing I was an active patient, a detailed timeline of the breach. The board responded within 48 hours. They take this stuff seriously. Got a call from an investigator, Robert, who sounded like he'd seen some stuff, but this still shocked him. She discussed your sessions over Facebook and met with your girlfriend in person to discuss your treatment. That's what my ex-girlfriend stated, yes. We'll need a formal statement from you. Can you come in Thursday? Went in. Spent 3 hours going through everything. Robert had me write out a detailed statement, asked if I'd be willing to testify if it went to a hearing. Absolutely. One more thing, Robert said. We'll be requesting Dr. Brennan's Facebook records and any communications with Miss Natalie's last name, if there are other patients. That hit me. If she did this to me, who else? He gave me a case number and said the investigation would take 2 to 6 weeks. But here's where it gets wild. Dr. Brennan must have gotten the notice because she called me that Friday. Called me. I let it go to voicemail. Daniel, this is Dr. Brennan. I'm very concerned about some allegations that have been made. I think there's been a terrible misunderstanding. Please call me back so we can discuss this. This is all just a big miscommunication. Screenshot the call log. Added to my file. She called 6 more times over the weekend. No more voicemails. Then the emails started. Daniel, I'm deeply concerned about these false accusations. Your girlfriend reached out to me, not the other way around. She was worried about you. As your therapist, I had an obligation to help. What? That's not how therapy works. I forwarded everything to Robert. Then Monday morning, the real bomb dropped. Got a Facebook message from a woman named Claire. Hi, you don't know me, but I saw your post in the city community group about Dr. Brennan. She was my therapist too. She became friends with my mom on Facebook and told her about my sessions. I thought I was crazy. Can we talk? We talked. Claire had been seeing Dr. Brennan for anxiety. Dr. Brennan befriended her mom, told her that Claire was exaggerating her childhood abuse, that she needed to forgive and reconnect with her abusive father. Claire's mom used this information to ambush her at a family dinner. Claire had complained to the board 6 months ago, but withdrew it after Dr. Brennan threatened to sue her for defamation. She said she'd ruin my life. Said no one would believe me. I was already dealing with anxiety, and I just gave up. I gave her Robert's direct number, told her she wasn't alone now. By that Wednesday, 3 more former patients had reached out. All women. All had similar stories. Dr. Brennan befriending family members or partners on social media, information from sessions being shared, boundaries being violated. We started a group chat. The stories were horrifying. Jessica's husband was told about her past abortion during their divorce proceedings. Amy's mother was given details about her sexual assault to help her understand. Catherine's ex-boyfriend was coached on how to handle her depression. Dr. Brennan had been doing this for years. But then came the twist I didn't see coming. Got a text from an unknown number. "This is Natalie. I know you blocked me, but I need to tell you something. Heather contacted me first. She reached out to me on Facebook, said she was concerned about you. I thought it was weird, but she said you were in crisis. I'm sorry. I didn't respond, but I screenshot it. An hour later, another text. She told me you were dangerous, said you had attachment disorders, and she was worried about my safety. She said befriending her was my idea so you wouldn't get suspicious. Daniel, I think she planned this." Now I responded, "Send me everything. Screenshots, messages, all of it." The flood came. Dozens of messages. Dr. Brennan had reached out to Natalie the day after our session about boundaries with the ex. Told her I was showing concerning signs, and as a mandated reporter, she was worried. But it got worse. Dr. Brennan had been coaching Natalie, telling her what to say to trigger me, what buttons to push, how to make me seem unstable. If he gets upset, document it. We might need it for his treatment plan. Try mentioning his mother. See how he reacts. Don't give him space. Push for emotional responses. She was using my girlfriend to gather ammunition for something. The last message from Dr. Brennan to Natalie, sent the day after I filed the complaint. "If anyone asks, you reached out to me first. You were concerned about his mental health. I tried to maintain boundaries, but you were persistent. This is important, Natalie. My career depends on it." Natalie had typed back, "This feels wrong. Dr. Brennan, do you want him to get help or not? Sometimes we have to protect people from themselves." I forwarded everything to Robert immediately. His response was quick. "Come in tomorrow. Bring everything." Update 2, 1 month later. The investigation moved faster than anyone expected. Turns out when 5 patients file similar complaints with documented evidence, the board takes action. When those complaints include evidence of the therapist coaching people to manipulate patients and then trying to cover it up, they move at light speed. Dr. Brennan was suspended pending investigation within a week of my meeting with Robert. But she didn't go quietly. First, she tried to contact all of us. Emails, calls, even showed up at Claire's work. Claire called the police and got a restraining order. That didn't look good for Dr. Brennan's case. Then she hired a lawyer and tried to paint us as coordinated attackers who were retaliating because she wouldn't prescribe medication. She's not even a psychiatrist, can't prescribe anything. Her lawyer sent us all cease and desist letters. We all forwarded them to Robert. But here's where Dr. Brennan really messed up. She went on Facebook and posted this long rant about false accusations and mentally ill patients targeting healthcare workers. She didn't name names, but said enough that anyone could figure it out. Screenshot. Sent to Robert. Then she created a webpage called The Truth About the Lies, where she posted what she claimed were session notes, proving we were all delusional. Except, those weren't our real session notes. She'd fabricated them. I know because my real ones were subpoenaed by the board and they looked nothing alike. She claimed I had violent ideation and paranoid delusions. The real notes talked about normal childhood trauma and relationship anxiety. Nothing about violence or delusions. The investigation revealed she'd been friends with at least 23 patients or their family members on Facebook. She'd shared confidential information with at least 11 non-patients. She'd been charging insurance for 90-minute sessions but only meeting for 45 minutes. She wasn't even keeping proper records, just making stuff up later. The hearing was scheduled for last Thursday. All 5 of us testified via Zoom. Dr. Brennan was there with her lawyer, wearing this conservative outfit like she was cosplaying a responsible therapist. My testimony was straightforward. Read my statement. Showed the evidence. Answered questions. The board members looked increasingly horrified as I went through the timeline. Dr. Brennan's defense was basically, "They're all lying. I was trying to help. These patients are disturbed." Then Claire testified. Then Jessica. Then Amy. Then Catherine. By the time Catherine was done, one board member looked physically ill. Dr. Brennan's lawyer tried to claim we were all misunderstanding therapeutic techniques and that family involvement is sometimes necessary. The board chair, an older woman who looked like she'd seen everything, said, "Mr. Peterson, are you suggesting that discussing a patient's sexual assault with their mother via Facebook Messenger is a recognized therapeutic technique?" Even he looked embarrassed. Then came the star witness, Natalie. She'd agreed to testify after I sent her information to Robert. She was brutal. Went through every message, every manipulation, how Dr. Brennan had convinced her I was dangerous when all I'd done was ask for boundaries with an ex. She told me he was going to hurt me, Natalie said. She said I needed to document everything for when he snapped. But Daniel never snapped. He just left. Got a hotel, like a normal person who needed space. Dr. Brennan actually interrupted. "She's lying. They're all lying. This is a conspiracy." Her lawyer tried to shush her, but she kept going. "Daniel is manipulative. He turned everyone against me. Check his history. Check his records." The board chair had to mute her. The decision came 2 hours later. License revoked permanently. She can never practice therapy in our state again. The board is also referring the case for criminal prosecution for violation of HIPAA. Each violation can carry up to $50,000 in fines and a year in jail. She violated it at least 11 documented times. But the best part? The board is sending notices to every state licensing board in the country. She can't just move and start over. Dr. Brennan lost it. Started screaming about lawsuits and discrimination and how we'd destroyed an innocent woman. Her lawyer literally walked out while she was mid-rant. Final update, 2 months later. Figured I owe you all a conclusion to this insane saga. Dr. Brennan tried to sue all of us for defamation. The case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning she can't refile, because, as the judge put it, truth is an absolute defense against defamation, and the plaintiffs have provided overwhelming evidence of the truth. She had to pay our legal fees, all 5 of us. That bill came to about $47,000. Then the criminal case hit. The DA's office decided to prosecute for the HIPAA violations. 11 counts. She pled guilty to 5 counts to avoid jail time, got 2 years probation, 500 hours of community service, and $250,000 in fines. But that's not even the end. Her malpractice insurance dropped her, then sued her to recover the money they'd paid out to settle claims from other patients who came forward after the story hit the news. Last I heard, 12 more former patients were suing her. She had to sell her practice building. Her house is in foreclosure. She filed for bankruptcy last month. Someone sent me her LinkedIn. She's working as a life coach now, except she legally has to disclose she lost her therapy license for ethics violations. Somehow I don't think that's going well. The real kicker? Found out through the grapevine why she targeted me specifically. Remember how this all started right after I discussed boundaries with my ex in therapy? Turns out Dr. Brennan's husband had left her the month before for being controlling and invasive. She saw my situation and projected hard. Decided if she could prove I was the problem, not Natalie, it would somehow validate that she wasn't the problem in her marriage. She destroyed her career, her life, and violated multiple patients' trust because she couldn't handle her own divorce. As for me, I found a new therapist. Took weeks to even consider it, but Claire recommended someone. First session, I asked about their social media policy. "I don't have social media," he said, "and if I did, I certainly wouldn't friend patients or their families. That would be incredibly unethical. We're making good progress." Natalie reached out once more 2 weeks ago. Long apology email. Said she's in therapy herself now with an actual ethical therapist. Said she realizes how messed up everything was. How Dr. Brennan manipulated her insecurities about our relationship. I replied with just, "I hope you find peace." Because I have. It's weird, this whole thing was a massive violation, but it also taught me something. I wasn't crazy. My instincts were right. When something feels wrong, it probably is. And sometimes the best revenge isn't planned or calculated. Sometimes it's just refusing to let someone's violation of your trust go unchallenged. Sometimes it's just doing the right thing and letting the consequences follow. Dr. Brennan destroyed herself. All I did was hand her the rope. To everyone who reached out with similar stories, thank you. We created a support group that meets monthly, virtually. If you've experienced something similar with a therapist, counselor, or any healthcare provider, please know you're not alone. And you're not crazy. Report them. Document everything. Don't let them convince you it's normal. It's not. Edit, since people keep asking, yes, this is real. I've removed some identifying details, but the basics are all true. And no, I'm not sharing the news articles. We've all been through enough without internet sleuths digging up our real names. Edit 2. To the therapists reaching out saying this gives the profession a bad name, you're right to be concerned. But ignoring bad actors makes it worse. Police your own. The number of therapists who apparently knew Dr. Brennan was sketchy, but said nothing is disturbing. Edit 3. Natalie and I are not getting back together. That bridge isn't just burned, it's nuked from orbit. We were both manipulated, but the relationship was clearly not healthy even before Dr. Brennan's interference. Final edit. The 5 of us from the original complaint are considering writing a guide for recognizing and reporting unethical therapy practices. If there's interest, maybe we'll post it somewhere. Knowledge is power, and no one should go through what we did. Stay safe out there. Trust your gut, and if your therapist tries to friend your mom on Facebook, run.